What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Opinion, and today I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite Mel Gibson movies. Guys, controversies aside, Mel Gibson is a fantastic actor, he's an amazing artist, and like I said, controversies aside, you can't deny he makes really powerful, epic, amazing movies.
Say what you want about Mel Gibson, but the son of a bitch knows story structure. Ah! Yes!
So anyway, like I said, I'm going to be counting down my top 5 favorite Mel Gibson movies, but to qualify, I want to make this very, very clear. I'm only going to be talking about the movies that he acted in. So, films that he produced and directed, like The Passion of the Christ, Apocalypto, or Hacksaw Ridge, I'm not going to be including that. So, let's just jump right into this list. Guys, coming in at number 5, we have the 1984 movie, The Bounty.
I am in hell! Why are you being so damned reasonable now?
Guys, The Bounty tells the real-life story of the 1789 mutiny on the Bounty.
Get on the boat, son.
What I love about this movie is, and I actually made a video telling why I love this movie. The Bounty's an underrated masterpiece. You should check that out. That'll be linked in the description below. The movie is an epic period piece that, in my opinion, most accurately portrays the real-life mutiny on the Bounty more than any other movie made on the subject. Mel Gibson stars as Fletcher Christian, and he is the lead mutineer. And he's the one who is responsible for leading a mutiny against Captain William Bligh, taking the ship.
There'll be no killing. Except Bligh. Be no killing.
William Bligh was played by Anthony Hopkins in this movie, and Mel Gibson and him had amazing chemistry.
The plants haven't...
I want to be advised of their progress every day, Mr. Christian.
What I love about this film is, first of all, the costumes, the sets, the music, the direction, all of it was really well done. The actors really came to play, and I really love films that can take you back in time. The epic exotic locations were stellar, and I really think Mel Gibson and Anthony Hopkins portrayed the parts so well, and I just have such a soft spot for this movie, The Bounty, so The Bounty is number 5.
Because you were at a loss, my friend. You may not thank me now, but you will later.
Coming in at number 4, guys, we have another historical movie. It's We Were Soldiers.
Broken Arrow!
Guys, it's no secret that I love Vietnam War movies. It's no secret that the majority of my favorite movies are Vietnam films, and the majority of movies I talk about on this channel are Vietnam movies. This movie is a special place in my heart for a number of reasons. It stars Mel Gibson as he plays Colonel Hal Moore, and it tells the story of the real-life Battle of Ia Drang.
I'll never forgive myself.
For what, sir?
That my men died and I didn't.
Guys, the Battle of Ia Drang was the first major battle between the US military and the NVA. It marked a major escalation in the war in Vietnam. So, guys, what I love about this movie is it's very unique in the sense that most Vietnam movies that I really love really focus on like one central protagonist or like a smaller unit, and it features the more cultural, philosophical, or political aspects of the war with a lot of drama. But this movie, it doesn't really do that. It doesn't rely on that stereotype. It's more so we're gonna show you combat Vietnam from a historical perspective and a tactical perspective.
Fix bayonets!
So Mel Gibson plays Hal Moore expertly. His performance was really cool. It really shows that he's a great leader who cares about his men, and it shows how he's willing to lead his troops in battle. So you see the strategy from his point of view while he's on the ground fighting with his troops on the front line.
Every man, fire 3 rounds and anything looks suspicious to him.
And then his counterpart in the NVA fighting and commanding troops from his side. The battles were epic, the sound effects were awesome, and like I said, Mel Gibson was amazing. His performance was awesome. Hal Moore was a really great leader. I think this is one of the greatest Vietnam War movies. It doesn't rely on a lot of stereotypical aspects of portraying Vietnam. It doesn't have cliches. It's just a straight up giant battle, and I love it.
Gentlemen! Prepare to defend yourselves!
Coming in at number 3, we have the Lethal Weapon series.
No guns, no jujitsu, just bring him down.
Roger.
What?
10-4.
Guys, Lethal Weapon is an action comedy buddy cop series starring Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Mel Gibson is Special Forces Vietnam veteran who's trained in martial arts, and he's a little off his rocker.
That's it, you son of a bitch. Good night.
And he's paired with the by-the-books conservative older Danny Glover, and so Mel Gibson's Martin Riggs and Danny Glover is Murtaugh. What makes this movie series awesome is not only is the action fun, it's a fun, casual watch if you want to have a cool action series to watch, but it's also funny, endearing. I think the chemistry between Mel Gibson and Danny Glover works perfectly. They really do work well as partners or as goofy friends who love each other but are arguing and bickering. It works perfectly.
Well, want Leo to shoot the shark.
I do want Leo to shoot the
Not only is Mel Gibson awesome in this movie, not only is he a badass when you see him do kung fu, jiu-jitsu, and all that good stuff to take the perps down, but it also has an amazing supporting cast. You've got characters who are beyond funny, beyond memorable, played by epic actors like Joe Pesci, Rene Russo. Guys, this Lethal Weapon is amazing. And not for naught. Again, like, it's easy to think that this is, oh, it's a casual action, but no. Mel Gibson really pulls out so much acting talent to perform the character of Martin Riggs. Not only do you get to see him in a more physical action role,
Yeah, I ran into some of those shadow company pussies in Saigon in about 69.
but you get to see a really deep emotional side, because in the first movie he's suicidal, he's lost his wife, and you can see the man is suffering, he's in pain, he's on the edge, and Mel Gibson draws such great raw acting talent. You can tell this character is facing some demons, and maybe Mel Gibson drew from real life experiences, but the portrayal of Martin Riggs, especially in the first movie, it wasn't just oh, I'm here to be a tough guy cop, anyone can do it. No, it took a lot of talent to portray that. Also, it's one of the more fun franchises to watch. The fights are amazing, the gunfire is awesome, and, well, you're never too old to watch the Lethal Weapon series, because Mel Gibson in Lethal Weapon is just fantastic.
Diplomatic community.
It's just been revoked.
Guys, coming in at number 2, we have The Patriot.
But mark my words, this war will be fought not on the frontier or on some distant battlefield, but amongst us.
Guys, I love this movie. The Patriot is such a good movie. Now, first of all, we all know this. I'm American. I love movies that appeal to my American heritage. I love movies that glorify American patriotism, heroism. All that good stuff. Now, let's get the awkward part out of the way. I'm fully aware that this movie is very historically inaccurate, and if you want to learn something, maybe not watch it, but if you want to be entertained and you want to be like, America, baby, woo, the land that I love, you will enjoy this movie immensely. So this movie is about Mel Gibson. He is Benjamin Martin. He is a southern plantation owner during the American Revolution. He's a French and Indian War veteran who has a really dark, disturbed past. He's a widower, and when the country is trying to get its independence from the British, he leads the militia and fights.
Unless I'm dreaming, I believe I see militia forming at their center.
Honestly, not only are the performances amazing, not only is it a really interesting character for Mel Gibson to play, dude, the battles in this movie were epic.
Mac Runner! Take it!
It's no secret that I love war movies. Most of the entries on this list are war movies, and this was amazing. Again, I have a soft spot for American history. I love history. I love the Civil War. I love the American Revolution, and I love the fact that this movie, it's like the most iconic, biggest major motion picture depicting the American Revolution, and that's why I love this. Now, the costumes looked great. The weaponry looked really cool. The battles were epic, and I love this movie dearly. I love this movie dearly, and a lot of my fellow Americans love this film because USA, baby, can't keep us down. And not for naught, the musical score by John Williams, aka the Emperor of Movie Music, was just sublime. And then the rivalry between Benjamin Martin and Colonel Tavington, the main villain, that was, because this main villain is one of the most evil dudes to have walked on screen, and their rivalry, they keep encountering each other throughout the war.
Kill me before the war is over, will you? It appears you are not the better man.
And then they have an epic showdown in the final battle.
You're right, my sons were better men.
And not for naught, this movie did inspire Assassin's Creed, the Revolutionary War video game with the tomahawk, so it's got that going for it. Like I said, the sound quality, the battles, Heath Ledger, a lot of supporting actors. Mel Gibson makes this movie, The Patriot, fantastic. Not only are you required to watch it and love it as an American, but I think anyone can love it. Well, maybe not the British, but, you know, Mel Gibson. Well, guys, before we get to our number 1, I do have an honorable mention because, like always, 5, it's not enough to chronicle all of Mel Gibson's great movies. So my honorable mention, I can't believe I'm admitting this, but What Women Want, okay? Guys, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking.
You're totally and completely gay.
Okay, I'm gay.
This is a guilty pleasure movie. I'm not gonna lie. Let's just be honest here. I don't like romance. I don't like rom-coms. I don't really like chick flicks. I don't agree with the overall message of the movie, and I don't really like the romance in it, but what I will say, it's a delightfully charming movie, and in the hands of another actor, it probably wouldn't be as memorable, considering the fact that if it was like Dustin Hoffman or Jack Nicholson, I wouldn't care. But Mel Gibson brings a lot of charm to this movie. The soundtrack was really cool. I love the music, and the concept is really fascinating, and it's really cool. The guy can read women's minds, and I think it's a charming, endearing movie that I like. Embarrassing as it is, what women want is a guilty pleasure, so that is my honorable mention.
Okay.
Oh, I'm as gay as it gets.
All right, guys, coming in at number 1, and probably not surprising anybody, is Braveheart. Guys, was there any surprise that Braveheart would be on this list? It's number 1. Not only did it win Best Picture and Best Director, but it won the hearts of trillions, I'm kidding, not trillions, but it won the hearts of a lot of people. Not only is it one of the most inspirational movies ever, not only does it have one of the greatest soundtracks and musical scores of all time, not only is it one of the most epic movies ever, but it is unquestionably Mel Gibson's greatest movie.
I'm William Wallace. Go back to England. Tell them Scotland is free.
Now, again, let's just address the elephant in the room. This is not a historically accurate movie. It tells the story of William Wallace. William Wallace was a real individual, and he did lead men in the first Scottish War for independence. This movie's not very accurate and honestly does a really bad job of telling the story. And Mel Gibson does get criticized for portraying history wrong in his movies. And I get it. Listen, I'm a history geek. I'm a history buff. I'm actually training to become a historian. And I can say this movie's blasphemy from a history point of view. However, I'm also the kind of guy who recognizes, well, I love movies. And if a movie's entertaining and if a movie is good, I can overlook the bad history. And that's why it's on this list. In fact, the historical inaccuracies, they don't bother me because I love the movie so much. The battle scenes were epic. The armor, all that cool stuff, swords and epic. The Battle of Stirling. The Battle of Falkirk. The action at Lanark. It's awesome. It's a manly movie. It's a macho movie. Mel Gibson is like the perfect protagonist, the perfect male hero. Super cool. It tells the hero's journey very well. For his reasons for fighting the English. The reason why he's leading his men against the oppressive tyranny of Longshanks, King Edward.
Never in my whole life did I swear allegiance to him.
It matters not. He is your king.
Amazing film. In actuality, it's a lot like the movie The Patriot. And I even did a movie versus movie What's Better, Braveheart or The Patriot. I will have that linked in the description below. You should check it out. But unquestionably, this movie is his greatest film. The music, it pumps me up. It makes me ready to go to war. And honestly, it's not a casual watch. You have to make a night out of it. It is one of those epic special occasions where you're like, I'm going back. You watch it, you feel like you're going back into the medieval period, especially considering it takes place during the High Middle Ages. And again, I know it's historically inaccurate, but it does feel like a medieval movie, and I love that.
Ego vos absolvo ab omnibus peccatis vestris.
I dare you to watch this movie. You watch this movie, you can feel like you'll be able to take on the impossible. You'll be able to take on the world. That's how it makes you feel. You can't watch this movie and not feel like you want to run a marathon. It just jacks you up. It is so inspirational. It's so thrilling. It's so epic. The landscaping shots were brilliant. Mel Gibson directed this movie beautifully. I dearly love this movie, and that is why Braveheart is firmly number 1.
They fought like warrior poets. They fought like Scotsmen.
Well, my friends, that's all I have for you. Those are my top 5 favorite Mel Gibson movies. Again, controversies aside, Mel Gibson is a fantastic actor. He is a powerful artist who could make really moving and epic movies. Regardless of what your opinion on his personal public image might be, you know, separate the art from the artist. The dude is super talented, mega talented. In fact, he's one of my favorite movie directors, and he hasn't directed many movies. It just goes to show you how amazing this guy is. He's one of my favorite actors. Mel Gibson is such a talented man. I love his movies. Well, guys, that's all I have for you. You know, if you agree, if you disagree, well, comment below to let me know. Remember to like this video and subscribe, guys, please. One like can go a long way and really help me out. So please, it costs you nothing to do so. Drop a like, hit that subscribe, comment below what you want to see next, and I'll see you on the next Unpopular Opinion. Because remember, habla grabla, or I messed that up, but Scotland forever. You know what I was going for. Woo! Freedom.